Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time once again for the Real World of Sales, the one show where you can really find out the most interesting people and how they market their businesses. Some amazing businesses we find out from the woman who seems to know them all, our business sales coach here, Ashley V. Welcome, Ashley.
Hey, Paul. Thank you so much. We have a wonderful show today, everybody. We're going to talk about all things art and entrepreneurship for art. And we have an art expert, a art gallery owner here in Newport Beach. We have Georgeana, who runs and owns ETHOS Contemporary Art Gallery. Welcome, Georgeana.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Ashley. And
Yeah, absolutely.
it's wonderful chatting with you before the event. And so,
Sure.
little bit about my gallery. So I'm a professional artist. I've been painting
Wow.
30 years, exhibiting in galleries as early as my teenage years. I was in galleries. So I done the whole gamut of the art scene and world overall the years. And when my main gallery
Yeah.
closed in Laguna Beach, I was at Finger Hut and all of their galleries, so Sausalito, La Jolla, and then also I was in galleries in Hawaii and other states. And
Yeah, that's amazing.
oh, thank you, thank you. And then when that closed, I decided to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring and open a gallery. And it's a big transition for an artist to go from being an artist to being a gallery owner. And
So how did you ended up doing that? What process was it?
well, what happened was, I was in such a good gallery in Laguna Beach. I was on the corner of PCH and Forest. It doesn't get better than that.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
you're
I know
right
that
there.
area.
Yeah, you're right
Right.
there in that big window. Everyone can see your work. And so I just didn't want to go backwards. I wanted to go forwards. They didn't have a succession plan. They had incredible artists. And I thought, these artists need a gallery. I'm going to open it. And
Nice.
little did I know, it's a tough business. You really have to be in it for the right reasons, because you have to be passionate about art and care about the artist. So I call us a pro artist gallery. So every decision I make for the gallery is always going to be with the artist in mind, and
Yeah.
taking care of them. And my hero, in the art world, it was
Right.
Peggy Guggenheim. And
Oh,
I
okay.
I read her
Nice.
biography, and I thought I want to be just like her. And then little
Yeah.
did I know, the next thing you can become like Peggy Guggenheim. And I didn't realize that really she supported artists financially, and that's a real tough business. So so anyway, my gallery is it's on the Balboa Peninsula. I'm across from Lido House Hotel. And so the good thing is I've had it 8 years.
Nice.
I've had it 8 years.
Great.
I have about 30,000 cars that go by a day, so that's really good.
Yeah, that's good for. So that's what I was
That's
wondering is how do you
got the
promote your
windows.
artist and art gallery? What kind of sales strategies you guys
Yeah.
do?
So well, the challenges I've had is I've got one parking spot that's officially for the gallery, and we don't have foot traffic. So these are obstacles that can be very tough. And I had to reframe my thinking. I think that is
Yeah, that sounds good.
yeah, you have to think of possibilities, and working with your obstacles that you have. One thing I've done for many years is I've always been very involved with philanthropy and charity work. And so
Okay.
I've always taken an opportunity, if they need art, to donate. And so because of that, over the years I've had amazing collectors. So some of the most
So
powerful,
you met them at the events.
I
charity.
met them, and they became a fan of my work. And like, for
Nice.
example, I have a heart here, and this is going to be at an auction this Sunday.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. And I'm kind of known I paint hearts for charity. And
Oh, that's
so
really sweet. What kind of paint do you use? What kind of style art?
I use mixed media. So this is an acrylic
Okay.
painting,
Mm-hmm.
but I work
Nice.
in many, many medias. I work in oil. I work with pigments, mica, resins. I've almost every medium you can
So
imagine.
what I've seen, Georgiana, what I've seen lately, like because I like art, I love to paint, and art is so interesting to me. And it's like mixed media has really increased lately. I think it's become really popular. And like the pop
Sure,
art.
sure,
And there's a lot of people I've seen, like in social media.
Sure,
in
sure. It's,
general.
pop art and street art is very popular, and I'm excited that I work with pop artists that are pop and street artists that are both local, including Los Angeles, which I consider local, but I also work with artists from London, from Paris that are street art as well.
Wow.
New
So
York.
how do you get these clients?
So what I do is I have a good eye. I'm trained pretty much from museums. I've traveled the world, and so my eye is very refined with excellence. And I'm more autodidactic, so I'm a person that's continuously studying for the rest of my life, and so I have an eye for very good art, and so that translates when I see art that I feel is very strong. I can trust my eyes and not necessarily the name or the pedigree. I can look at art and say, this is very good.
So have you helped like some artists that maybe they're not like, really, popular, selling a lot of art? Maybe they're kind of like a new art, but they have a special talent, and you're like, wow, that person is really skilled. I need to help them.
Exactly.
They can sell.
Absolutely. I do that. I do that all the time. And I work with young artists, and it's exciting to see, the doors open. I've actually brought museum curators to studios.
Wow.
Some artists
great.
they're in a museum now because of my, influence.
Wow. Is it mostly here in California?
Here in California for that. But one of the artists I work with, I just encouraging talent. When you see that natural raw talent, it's wonderful to encourage them. And if they have, it's a fine line, because it's a tough business. So you start with the natural talent, and then you develop that talent. But when someone really is gifted, it's important to encourage them, and I love to do that.
Yeah. And do you like, because you do like art as a business and also like the creative side of it. So when you see these artists, like they always say there's like a struggling artist. Do you give them business and sales advice, or do you just like promote them, or do you tell them like, hey, you need to make some Instagram pages, you need to go to these charities, you need to do this and that to also promote everybody?
Well, I would say where I've helped artists is sometimes I'm able to help them with collaborations or so
I've heard about that.
So like I have an artist that is very talented, and so I'm starting to see some paintings in my mind that I would like to create, so we're going to collaborate, we're going to do some work together, so I'm excited about that.
That's great.
And definitely, for an artist to be successful, the ones that do the best at our gallery are ones that have a platform. So they on their own have taken effort to have a bigger footprint in the media. And so they're more known, and, they do sell the best.
That's what I think is about being an artist, because I like to paint for fun. And I've sold a few paintings just for fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'll have to show you my paintings later.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll be in your gallery now.
Sure. I'd love to see what you do, and I love to encourage. And I work with other galleries too. So I have another gallery that I refer people to. I almost call it like a sister, because it's
Nice.
maybe
That's
for
good.
more emerging artists, and
Cool,
and
cool.
I do like to encourage people as well. So.
I think that's really great, especially for art. It's like if you really love art and you have the talent, but it's like you don't know, well, how do I sell my art? Like I'm making all these paintings and they're like stacked up. What do I do? So I think that's great. You encourage people.
Absolutely. There's a book I recommend to people that it's called Starving to Successful. It's a very good book by a gallery owner of how to become a professional artist. That's a very good book. I encourage reading. And
do a lot of these artists like major in art, or they just have no degree in it, and they're just talented?
Yeah, for me, that's not necessary because I'm more autodidactic. It's even famous artists have told me the proof is in the pudding, and I follow that philosophy. It's the art, it's the art, and so
Yeah, I see that.
it's not the pedigree. It's the art. Very good, then I'm interested. And so, but I work with some of the top living masters. So I work with a top local marble sculptor, Martin Varro, who's in his early 80s. I work
Wow.
with
Oh my gosh.
stainless steel sculpture, and my work is primarily abstract, romantic abstract. But then, like I mentioned to you earlier, I've got a couple pieces that are at the Laguna Art Museum this weekend. Saturday they'll be auctioned off
That's amazing.
to support the
Oh my
to
gosh.
support the museum. So that's
Oh,
exciting.
yeah, definitely. So,
Yeah.
and people can go there and see your art.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
there's a preview Thursday night from 5 to 7 that's free. That's a preview of the show of the auction that they're going to have at the Laguna
Oh,
Museum. And it's
cool.
125, primarily local or some bigger names. Ed Ruscha, I mean, there's some great big names in the auction. And so it's a way to...
And they're all from Orange County.
I think they're primarily California artists. They might
Okay.
not,
Sure.
some of them are bigger names. They might be a Los Angeles artist but it's a great way to support the museum and to get art. So,
Yes. Yeah. So everybody can go there and see
Right.
Georgeana's beautiful art.
yes.
I'm fascinated to listen to this conversation because I know very little about art. But I know that the world of art has expanded enormously. You say everything to me is art now here. It used to be just a painting, a landscape painting, or just a sculpture. And now you talk about mixed media and all this stuff. And this is just a crazy, wild question, but if Michelangelo were alive today, or somebody like that, would they be working in mixed arts? Would they be doing lots of different things, or would they still be just, painting in one style with one medium with one thing? I just wonder if because what they had to deal with was limited. You don't have
Right,
endless
right.
different possibilities.
Right.
Would they embrace it, or would they just stay to their lane and do what they became
Oh
famous
no,
for?
I know they would embrace it. I had the good fortune of being in Paris, and I was able to shop at the Sennelier store.
I don't know what that is.
It's a store. It's a store that's been there since the Impressionists. So it's
Wow,
the very
okay.
store that Monet and the Impressionists would have shopped at in Paris.
Oh my gosh.
And I was able to go in there and buy my supplies, and I bought all these amazing pigments that were mica and like metallic powders, gold, iridescent, and I thought, oh, they didn't have this when Monet was here, but boy, he would have been painting with this stuff.
Yeah,
I know he
right.
would have. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, oil is, I love oil, but I love oil painting, and I do paint in oil painting, but it's such a slow process. And often as an artist, you have ideas that you want to capture in a faster way, or that's where you work in other mediums like acrylic to at least maybe do some of the underpainting. So
Yeah.
that you can
It dries
get your
faster.
idea. You right, because artists are passionate. Artists want to paint. They don't want to.
Now tell us the one you were trying to explain to me before you came in. You were showing me a poster, and then there was a painting, and it had real spoons in it or something.
Right. That's the piece.
Talk about mixed media. It's not
that-
even paint. You're
exactly.
incorporating real world items into your
Exactly
work.
that came into my mind. That genre is called assemblage, and that is where you take found objects and you put that together to create almost like a sculpture. And so
literally just a baby spoon or
Absolutely.
something. And
it's all kinds of utensils, and it's something I saw in my mind. It's called Let's Eat. and then I thought, I should expand on this idea. And then I decided to create an immersive pinup. And so then I continued with my found
an
objects.
immersive pinup. You say that so
Right.
casually. So you created this pinup style. What's the famous pinup art?
Vargas.
Right.
Vargas.
So he made all these famous pinups of the 40s and 50s.
Exactly. And
Betty
if you-
Grable and the
ex-
side of a bomber or something here.
Totally. And if you look at it, I'm much more covered up than any of the Kardashians in their bikinis, right? But but it still had,
But it's a poster of you.
It's a poster of
But
me.
it's in a 3D setting because there's other paintings and other objects around you.
Yeah, my painting behind me is I have the painting I created that's the assemblage, and then I created a set.
Yeah,
so
right. It's like a movie set.
Like a movie set, and then I worked with a incredible photographer that specializes in pinup photography with Nancy Valera, Crush Studios, and she helped me to get my pose just right because that's her specialty.
Yeah,
so we worked as a team.
So there's this poster of you like I'd see in some, I don't know, movie lobby or something.
Playboy
here.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Playboy. So it's a 3D
innocent Playboy.
innocent Playboy, the old Playboy. And so here is you in this full size
an apron.
cutout of you in an apron.
I'm in an apron, and I've got a whip, and I've got a bowl.
Of course.
And I've got stilettos.
And you're telling everybody, let's eat. And then
I'm saying, let's eat.
And then in the background is this painting that actually incorporates real spoons and cutlery into it here.
Absolutely.
And then it's set in a setting, so there's like a table and chairs and some other stuff.
I've got
here.
a chair, right? It's all found objects. Everything came from Salvation Army. That's a supportee.
Nice.
That's a
Okay.
charity I really support. They do a lot of good things for people, and
And
so
where is this? Where can I see this thing at?
the painting is at the Laguna Art Museum right now.
I think a lot of guys would like to see that.
Unbelievable.
But the posters there's other ones. That's just one. That's called Let's Eat Yellow, and then I have some other pieces that are immersive pinup.
That's what's neat is that the whole picture is an art piece.
It is, yeah.
You designed it.
because
and
it
it's
starts
an
in
experience.
my mind.
And it's an experience. So you don't just go and look at something on a wall. It's like a movie set.
I've created a movie set. So
Yeah.
I see it. What happens is I see it in my mind as a painting, and then I have to create it in the third dimension. So like I have another one that's called Password Sapphire, and it's a speakeasy bar. And
I like that theme right away.
okay, and so that's another pinup. And so these are just they're in my mind.
cool.
And even for my Facebook and stuff, I have Artist as Barbie. So right when the movie came out, I did a pinup of Artist as Barbie. But really before that, before I even started doing the pinups, I created an installation in Los Angeles called My Perfect Plastic World, and it was a commentary on social media and how we present this, plastic unreal life, and that everyone thinks it's real,
that's
and
true.
everyone they try to they feel like their life is less than, but they don't realize, it's plastic, it's not real.
Yeah, people put all these like beautiful luxury pictures.
So
Right.
that's what amazes me. The few times I've gone to an art gallery, it's no longer stuff on a wall. And you go from one to the next, and there it is hung in a frame. And maybe it's got different kinds of acrylic or mica paint or all the stuff you're talking about. But it's still a painting.
Right.
Or it's a sculpture. They
Right.
carved it out of something here, wood or marble or stone or something here. But this, what blows my mind is when you talk about, I'm going to take all this and create a setting.
Right.
So you're going to see it. It's a real living room.
Right.
And over here is this pinup of cutout of you and real tables. And then in the background is this art with real that just blows my. I don't even know how you come up with that. I don't even know how you think of that, and I don't know how to experience that kind of art. I don't know what to do when I'm there.
Well,
Do I sit in the chair? Do I just walk by and it's roped off? No.
Well, the thing is, right
Is it
now,
interactive?
No. Right now, it's just the poster. It's the piece of art in the poster. But I do create immersive rooms.
And I've seen some where people use
fingers
video
crossed.
and audio.
I'd love to do that. That would
And
be.
people can buy the art. That's
Yeah,
it.
the art. Yeah, the art
And
is
then would
for
they
sale.
put it in their house, and then they
Absolutely.
don't? It'd be a corner, and there'd be this whole movie set.
Georgeana doesn't go with the
No.
purchase.
No. Oh,
Right now, it's just the piece of art, and then there's the poster that was created from the setting. But I do create immersive experience.
So if I went to
rooms,
somebody's
too.
house, some
It's just a
high-end
poster.
home,
It's the pinup poster.
but
So
they
the poster
but-
is,
It's just the
and then
poster.
the art.
The art piece. They're two separate things.
But you
They're
talked
two-
about we won't drop names, but you talked about some famous clients that you have and other people and wealthy patrons that support these things. So would they buy that thing from a museum, and would they dedicate a section of their living room to this
That'd be
3D movie
wonderful.
set?
Well, no, it's. I would love to do that. Actually,
Yeah.
I would love to do that. So,
So
You
it's
work
more
with
than
a-
on the wall.
But right now
Yeah.
it's just I have the piece of art that's 3-dimensional. Just the actual that's a big piece of
So
art.
explain the
with
piece that you
silverware.
brought here today.
Right,
What,
right.
Oh, this little piece. This is just a sample of one of my heart paintings that I do for charity, and just a sample because a lot of them have been very big. I don't have any because they're all gone. They're all to support
sold.
charities.
Nice.
And then, but that's how part of how, like I said, people know about me. One example would be Julia Arduous owns about 7 of my heart paintings.
Wow.
And they're all from charity.
There's a
and
name. She only sponsors half the buildings on UCI campus here, right?
There we go. And so she and I have supported charity by me donating and by her buying. And so, and then other charities. I honestly could not even tell you how many I've supported, just because it's just something I believe in.
So if
That's
Michelangelo
wonderful.
was alive today, okay,
Yeah,
or Leonardo da Vinci, or any of these
Right.
famous people, or
Right.
pick anybody,
right.
how would they, not just how would they work, how would they get known? How would they get discovered? Would they have to be on social media? Would they have to be
They
doing
would.
exhibits?
They
Would
would.
I mean,
They would.
in those days, somehow a patron discovered you
Right.
and then supported you, and you went and painted a church, or you painted somebody's portrait, or did
Right.
something here.
Yeah, the thing everyone should think about is, back in that time, it was a different world, and they didn't have the internet, they didn't have the
No.
books we have, they
Right.
didn't have all the things we have. We're at such a greater advantage than these artists. And when you think of Van Gogh, to think in his lifetime, his brother was an art dealer.
Yeah, and he only
And
sold like one painting or
One
something.
in his whole life.
Right.
And here he was a genius.
After he died, he got more known
Exactly.
for his art.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so, we don't ever want that to happen. We really don't. And so, we live in a world now where truly, I believe anyone can be successful if they take the time, and they, all the books are available, the classes are available, the schools are available. It's an internal will and drive and discipline and habit.
But so many artists
Right.
tend to approach it. I'm going to go in a cave. I'm going to go in a little a poverty flat in Paris or something. I'm just going to create this thing, and somehow somebody's going to find it and discover it. That's not for me to market it. That was up to
Right.
the gallery. That was up to some patron. I just am the starving artist, and I'm going to create this work like Van Gogh and hope that
Right.
somebody did. And in his lifetime, nobody did. Even though his
Right.
brother's an art
His brother
dealer.
was an art dealer.
I
So
wa-
that's
but I'm
Couldn't get anybody to buy
wonderful.
it.
I'm wondering if those guys like Van Gogh, Michelangelo were living today, would they still be so well known for
I
their
guess
art?
that's
Because
the
there's so
point.
many
Absolutely.
people. There's
No,
so many
absolutely.
artists.
Or would they be
Absolutely.
lost artists
Yeah,
because they didn't know how to
no.
market in the modern media?
It's competitive now doing
No,
art too.
yeah, but the thing is, genius is genius, and so Van Gogh was a genius. He wasn't a genius, known as a genius in his lifetime, but I've been this close to. I mean, I've been as close as without setting alarms. His original art. I'm the one that sets off the alarms in the museum.
You get a little too close. All
I
right.
get too close. So, genius is genius. That's why I said I don't need to know the artist's pedigree to know the level of talent.
But what made him like a genius in his art? Like Starry Night is a beautiful painting. But how does like somebody that just like doesn't know much about art
And
really
nobody
see that
certainly
and
saw it
notice
in his day because it was so
Right,
different than
right.
anything they'd seen.
Right. Well, if you think about it, just imagine anything, there's thousands of artists, but the level of genius is where someone puts that time in. They have a talent, and then they put that time in to develop it, to get better and better and better. Some people are just naturally, genius, like, Bocelli or whatever, but and they are. I mean, you got to realize they were pretty young a lot of times, and so it's just a matter of. I mean, you have to have that marketing component. I
guess that's what
you
I'm
have to. You do have to have something.
I think,
the
like,
patron, the
and I
gallery,
think
the Gagosian,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
And maybe like I think the artists, like the ones that I've seen that are really popular, they have their own like unique style.
They have to have a
They
unique style.
create their own
Right.
art
exactly.
style.
Exactly. So if you're just copying another artist, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
And if
Right,
you're
that's what I've
just
seen.
trying to do the shortcut or the fast, or but the thing is, the art world is there's many different.
Well, now you have digital art, and
layers
digital art, I think,
Mhm.
makes it a lot easier to be an
Mhm.
artist too, and that's why there's more people doing it. Like I have a friend, and she just makes paintings just with her computer. She doesn't even
Mhm.
use any
Mhm.
paint at all.
I work with more than one artist that does that, but even the artists, like one in particular I work with, JT Burke. His art is digital, but he's a genius. He photographs jewelry and then he story tells, and he has the most.
Oh,
He
that's
creates
neat. That sounds really cool.
like a utopian worlds with jewelry, storytelling. And my car is actually wrapped with his art, and
Okay,
it's
cool.
unbelievable. And so it's yeah. So I think it's a medium just like any other medium. Now I
see.
say digital.
Well,
is
I
just
wish we
another
had
medium.
more than a medium amount of time to do this here. We're running out of time already. How do people find your gallery? How do they find your art? How do they find the people that you
Sure.
support? Because I think that's the other thing for average folk like me who say, that's pretty,
Right.
but I know nothing about it. I don't even know how to access it. I don't know how to find it. I don't know where to
Right.
look for it. It seems
Right.
so exclusive and so far away from my existence here.
Right. Well, so our gallery is, like I said, across from Lido House. There's one parking spot behind. It's always better to have an appointment because it's a small showroom. Sometimes I'm with clients, and so we are,
Sure.
we're open just Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and by appointment. I try to be there as much as I can be, but I'm also an artist, so I'm producing art at my
Yeah.
studio 10 minutes away.
And how many artists do you represent in
I
addition?
work with 60 artists.
Wow.
And also, especially during COVID, we became an international gallery. So we've sold all over the
Yeah,
world.
that's really cool.
We've shipped to Dubai, London, just
You
France,
say this so
New York.
casually. I'll bet there are millions of starving artists out there who are literally starving, who somehow think, I've got a story to tell, I've got art I want to share with the world, and they don't know how to get found. They don't know how to get into galleries. They don't know how to get into museums. They don't know how to get exposure for what they do.
There's really good books to read. I mean, I know for me, I do have artists asking to be in the gallery every day.
I'll bet.
And so, I
Yeah.
really can't take any more
Like
artists.
1,000, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, sometimes I'll see something that's very unique. I mean, I work with an artist that creates in Legos.
Creates in
yeah,
Legos?
It's fabulous.
Oh my goodness,
Fabulous.
my grandson
Really
would go
fun.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah,
But there's a lot of art websites too that people can sell their art on.
absolutely. It's definitely just doing your homework, studying. I said that's a good book to read. I recommended a book, and there's just a lot more. There's so much more opportunity.
So give us,
now.
is there a website for you?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at. A
Oh,
website,
Ethos,
phone numbers?
Ethos Arts, yeah, Ethos Arts Incorporated, Ethos Arts Gallery in Newport Beach. I'm Georgeana Ireland, and that's our website is Ethos Arts Incorporated, and everything's online. A lot of our sales, it's people that have never set foot in the gallery.
Wow.
Nice. So they buy online from you, e-commerce.
Yeah, the world has changed.
Yes.
Somebody
And I
buys
think
a
that's really
painting
helpful.
sight unseen, or a
Absolutely.
piece of art sight unseen, and then you ship it to them,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
display it. Well, I marvel at the people that Ashley brings in here, the most incredible people doing the most amazing things.
Yep.
And this is certainly an example of one you would think, I'm sure there's a million people like Ashley who would love to paint, but think, I can't make a living doing this.
No,
Wh-
that's
whether
why-
you have
that's why-
talent or not,
That's why I
I know,
have a
right?
job, Paul. too.
All right, all of us, yeah, right. All right, thanks. Cool stuff. What's it called? Ethos Arts?
Ethos Arts Incorporated, and right on our banner, it's Ethos. It says Ethos Contemporary Art, but then we've just transitioned to a corporation because we've done we sold some pretty expensive
Nice.
art now.
And if anybody wants to go see something, you've got something else coming up? Is it too early to say the Jonathan Club? Are we doing something
Oh,
then?
I'm
No?
very excited. I just got the offer yesterday. I will be painting
Yay.
live at the Jonathan Club at their gala.
And for
Ooh,
those
that's
who don't know,
amazing.
go look up the Jonathan Club. This is
Yeah.
like a lot of movers and shakers, a
It's-
private club for very powerful people up in Los Angeles, right?
And
I've only ever been there once. Somebody invited me once to lunch
Oh,
there.
well, what
Yeah, it's
I'm
tough.
excited about is, to be honest, I've seen this in my mind since I was 17 years old. So when I got the call yesterday, it was like, wow.
You saw the Jonathan Club? Or you
I saw myself performing live in front of people, and I have done it. I have painted live at my gallery events and at events, but I haven't painted live in an evening gown at the Jonathan Club at a gala.
In front of very powerful movers and shakers who belong to this private.
So you're like, I don't want to
very
mess
private
up.
Exactly.
Right.
And I am, we're still working on it, but I have just discovered a talent that blew my mind, that it plays amazing violin, and it's the exact music I paint to. And I'm kind of making that a little bit of a condition.
That sounds really nice.
A condition of having me there. I'm like, I must have the music that I paint to. For me to do my best art, I need this
Yeah.
musician with me.
Well,
So we're still working that out. It's not for sure.
Okay.
But fingers crossed, it'll be an extremely
Well, I hope you'll invite us
exciting
to that
event.
event
Yeah.
where we can
Okay,
come up. We'd love to drive up to
absolutely.
the
You guys
Jonathan
film.
Club. We'll do a
we
little
need this
piece
on
there.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do a little video or a little.
Will
We,
you do
we
a little
sometimes
video?
go a little. We do little through our
Okay,
first social
I'll
media
work
channel.
on that. That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah. all
Okay.
right.
Thank you for coming in. Ashley, take us out. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to have to listen to this 5 times to wrap my head around it here.
Yeah, I mean, art it's an amazing industry, and it's really grown, and there's just so many new business sales strategies that can help. And Georgeana is an art expert. If anybody has questions, want to buy her art, wants to talk to her about her gallery, just let her know. You can call you, right, Georgeana? They can-
Absolutely. I'll give you all that information with the phone
Okay.
number, and it all comes up on the Ethos Arts,
The website,
Google it.
all
Yeah,
right.
the website. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And we it's been an amazing show. There's so much to talk about, more about art, but there's just I think there's hope in art, and for people that are entrepreneurs too. It's like Georgiana said, you have to just work hard and have that within you, that that drive to really be
Absolutely.
successful. And even if you're just starting to be an artist or whatever, starting a business, you just have to have that drive and be creative, like the artists are.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
And how do they
Thank you.
find your book, Ashley? You never want to plug your own book
Yeah.
here.
Well, my book is there's some new stuff going on. We're gonna make a website for my book and stuff. It's on Barnes and Noble website,
Fabulous.
so you can buy there.
And the
It's
name of the
Ferocious
book
Sales
is?
Skills. Ferocious Sales Skills.
Ferocious
love it.
sales skills.
I
You got to be
love it.
ferocious in
I'm
your
gonna read
selling.
it. I'm a
Yeah.
reader. Readers are leaders.
Awesome. Thanks for hearing. Yeah. And you guys can call and let me know if you have any questions. You guys can contact me, and if you want to buy my book, just buy it. And I'm gonna do like some book signings too this year. So we're working
Maybe
on
in
that
an
too.
art gallery. We'll
That we
we'll
could
coordinate the
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
That would be really
Happy
cool.
to.
All right. Mixed media from mixed artists here. All right. Thanks so much for joining us here
Thank
today.
you. Thanks a lot.
Yep, definitely.
Well, there you have it. One more reason to tune in each and every time to one of the more amazing shows we have on the network here, where we bring in people you don't even know exist right here in your own backyard, doing the most incredible things, and how they market and make a living at all these wonderful creative fields here. Right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.